The book of Isaiah 14 introduces us to Lucifer. In Latin, Lucifer means the one who brings light. In Hebrew, the word means dawn star. In all languages, Lucifer was depicted as a brilliant, shining, and wonderful deity. He was in charge of the religious services. He was the cherub who guarded the location where God's presence was manifested. He was in charge of the music. He was a gifted artist. He had a lot of experience. He then rebelled and fell. Lucifer, on the other hand, made a major mistake at some point. He became so enamored with his own magnificence that he attempted to equalize himself with God and rebelled against his Creator. Ezekiel chapter 18, verses 14 through 16, NKJV. You were the anointed cherub who covers. I established you. You were on the holy mountain of God. You walked back and forth in the midst of the fiery stones. You were perfect in your ways from the day you were created, till iniquity was found in you. By the abundance of your trading you became filled with violence within, and you sinned. Therefore I cast you as a profane thing out of the mountain of God, and I destroyed you, O covering cherub, from the midst of the fiery stones. Let's look at a fascinating term that appears in this passage: trading. It means to go up and down as a talebearer, as an agitator with hidden underhanded agitation in Hebrew. It is now referred to as campaigning or lobbying. We can see exactly what led to Lucifer's demise in Ezekiel chapter 28. Your heart was lifted up because of your beauty. You corrupted your wisdom for the sake of your splendor. Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 17. What was Lucifer's initial motivation? What was the first offense? Pride. As a result, he committed the first recorded sin. The first sin occurred in heaven, not on earth. It wasn't a case of inebriation, infidelity, or even lying. It was because of pride. It is still the most lethal of all sins. Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 18. By the multitude of your iniquities and the dishonesty of your trading you have profaned your sanctuaries. So I made a fire come from within you, and it consumed you. I reduced you to ashes on the ground in the eyes of all who saw you. According to the Bible, the cherubim's main responsibility may be to declare man's sinfulness and protect God's presence from sinful men. Cherubim, or cherubs, are angelic beings who participate in God's worship and praise. The cherubim are mentioned in the Bible for the first time in Genesis chapter 3, verse 24. Satan was a cherub before his rebellion. Ezekiel chapter 28, verses 12 through 15, NKJV. You were the anointed cherub who covers. I established you. You were on the holy mountain of God. You walked back and forth in the midst of fiery stones. You were perfect in your ways from the day you were created, till iniquity was found in you. Many cherubim were depicted in the tabernacle and temple, as well as their articles. Hebrews chapter 9, verse 5, TLV. And above it, cherubim of glory overshadowing the mercy seat. But it is not now possible to speak in detail about these things. God created the cherubim, a group of celestial beings. They are the first angelic hierarchy to appear in the Bible, right after man's fall from grace. Exodus 25 gives Moses specific and detailed instructions on how to make several pieces of furniture for the tabernacle. The first to be detailed were the Ark of the Covenant and the mercy seat, where God promised to meet and commune with Moses. What did God intend to place above or on top of the mercy seat? He went with gold cherubim representations. God's intriguing description to Moses is as follows. Have them make an art of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits long, 1.5 cubits wide, and 1.5 cubits high. Overlay it with pure gold inside and out, and make a gold molding around it. Cast 4 gold rings for it and fasten them to its 4 feet, with 2 rings on one side and 2 rings on the other. Then make poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. Insert the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark to carry it. The poles are to remain in the rings of this ark. They are not to be removed. Then put in the ark the tablets of the covenant law which I will give you. Make an atonement cover of pure gold. 2.5 cubits long and a cubit and a half wide, and make 2 cherubim out of hammered gold at the ends of the cover. Make 1 cherub on one end and the second cherub on the other. Make the cherubim of one piece with the cover at the 2 ends. The cherubim are to have their wings spread upward, overshadowing the ark with them. The cherubim are to face each other, looking toward the cover. Place the cover on top of the ark and put in the ark the tablets of the covenant law that I will give you. There, above the cover between the 2 cherubim that are over the ark of the covenant law, I will meet with you and give you all my commandments for the Israelites. Make a table of acacia wood, 2 cubits long, a cubit wide, and a cubit and a half high. Exodus chapter 25, verses 10 through 23. What an incredible sight it must have been to see the cherubim associated with God's very presence. However, the cherubims are not the only hierarchy of angels. To see the other kinds of angels, click here.